Treksploration.
Hello, Treksplorers, and welcome back to Treksploration. I'm Albie.
I'm Chris.
I'm John.
And I'm Steve.
All right, so it was Stardate 3019.4, original air date August 20th, 2026. That's today! Hey! Wow, how cool is that? Written by Henry Alonzo Myers and Dana Horgan.
This might be the last one you asked me to do, but all right, you asked for it. The Enterprise is heading towards Vulcan because Spock wants to study logic. But unfortunately, the ship has to stop in the Ronzoni sector to monitor pirate activity, which gives Scotty a chance to break the Guinness World Record on transporting, not because he can make a name for himself as a singular engineer of unique talent, but because he wants to get back at his old Academy engineering rival, Declan Wilder. Here's the plan. Scotty has a slightly unsettling puppet named Little Ricky, a nod to Lucy Ball, maybe? Yeah, Lucy, all right? Lucy, it's a Lucy thing. That his brothers used to put in his room to scare him as a kid. So, of course, Scotty has this puppet with him on the frontier on the Enterprise and unknown boundaries of space. He was just biding his time until he could maybe beam it into Declan's quarters from parsecs away.
Declan?
And that makes so much sense in every way, so why bother questioning it? Anyway, Spock is seriously freaked out by the puppet, maybe because foreshadowing, but mostly because show. As a result, Spock rushes off to his dance practice with La'an, but she's like, I'm a borderline sociopath murderer and I'm breaking up with you. It was fun while it lasted, so let's end it while you're still not dead. Meanwhile, on the bridge, Una is like, hey, Captain, we have reports of pirates in this sector. You know, the entire reason Spock said we had to delay going to Vulcan. Should we take any precautionary measures? And Pike is like, nah, forget that. I have my new chair that I can use to control the ship with the armrests like Kirk will have in TOS. That takes precedence over everything because they seriously want to keep writing me as the dumbest dummy who ever sat in the captain's chair, fancy armrests or otherwise. On a more serious note, Spock is suffering some serious PTSD from the Griffin because who wouldn't? So he reaches out to T'Pring for solace. She puts him in his place saying, I'm just your safety boo, yeah? Spock is like, yeah. T'Pring is like, what the hell? I have to go to Vulcan as well, and I'll hitch a ride with you because you're on your way there, right? But no hijinks. I don't like hijinks. I'm T'Pring. We don't do hijinks. Spock goes out on a shuttle to deploy relay buoys for Scotty's epic transport of Little Ricky. Scotty slides the transporter levers, but oh no, disaster. The beam takes everyone on the ship, and eventually the whole Enterprise itself. A stranded Spock calls the ship, which shortly rematerializes, only for Spock to discover that everyone aboard has been transformed into puppets. It's the puppet episode.
The puppet episode.
Oh no! And T'Pring said no hijinks. What are we gonna do?
There's so much hijinks.
What follows is some BS where Orion pirates waylay the Enterprise and discover that everyone on board is puppets, and they decide to take over the ship and steal it. But puppet hijinks happen, and the Orions are thwarted, and it doesn't make a lick of sense or a goddamn bit of difference because it turns out that it's literally all just a dream that Spock was having a la Gilligan's I You Not Island, because the writers of Strange New World said even we are not shameless enough to make this pile of nonsense canon. That's about it, because what else is there to say? This time, hopefully, for the last time, on Star Trek Strange New Worlds. That's my synopsis.
I feel like that was an editorial almost.
You know what? Sometimes
Almost.
I have to.
Almost.
Sometimes I have to. All right.
I don't want to assume what you think about this episode. I think first we'll go to Steve, the great Steve Shives.
I don't think Chris liked it, you guys.
I don't think so, but I'm going to make up for that because I think my energy
If you
for
listen
that.
carefully to his recap, there were subtle clues that pointed toward his
Couple
opinions.
hints. Couple hints. But I got to check with Ground News, our sponsor for today.
Usually when he cusses in that recap, it's not a good sign.
John, do you know how many F-bombs I cut out of that just so Albie wouldn't have to edit them?
Have a sense.
There were so many F-bombs.
We will have much to talk about. You can explain, I can explain. We can come together and figure this out.
Yeah, we can learn to love each other despite our differences. You know,
Exactly.
it's the Star. It's the Star Trek ethos. I like this episode. The only thing that I really didn't like about it was the bit that Chris just compared to an episode of Gilligan's Island. I really was disappointed that they made it all a dream, because one of the things that I really liked about it was its commitment to the bit. I think the commitment to the bit makes the whole thing work, because I actually agree technically with a lot of what you just said there, Chris. Yeah, it is, in terms of like plot and just sort of, the conventional measuring sticks that we use to evaluate writing, like, it's not that great. It's very light. It takes a lot of shortcuts. A lot of it doesn't really make sense. A lot of things happen because the villains are just completely incompetent and just allow the puppet people to go off out of sight and do whatever they need to do. There's a lot about it that's like wrong in terms of writing. But for me, it ultimately works because it commits to this incredibly silly bit as far as you possibly can. They're like, okay, everybody except Spock is a puppet. That's what we're doing. And full speed ahead. And that to me is what made it work until the end, when it feels like with minutes left in the episode, finally they flinch and they're like, what are we doing? A puppet episode? We can't do a puppet episode. And it's like, dude, you just did a puppet episode. Like, why are you trying?
Or did we?
What are you embarrassed about now? Like, you just did a puppet episode. And for me, it mostly worked. It was fun. It was funny. I had a good time with it. But now you're, but wait a minute. We can't do a puppet episode. It's got to be Spock having a dream. And it doesn't ruin the episode for me, but it ends it on kind of a sour note, because I'm like, man, you didn't. The ending with all the puppets floating in space after Spock kisses Puppet T'Pring. There's your ending. You've already you've already explained, like, well, they're going to change back with the transporter, blah, blah, blah. Okay. You've covered that. The ending is, they're floating out in space. It's so goofy and dumb and silly, just like the rest of the episode. Just end it there. But no, it was all a dream. Oh, and you were there, but you were a puppet. That rubs me the wrong way. But pretty much all of the rest of it, I had a great time with.
Yeah. All right. John, the beautiful John Irons is our friend.
Wow. No
Okay,
pressure.
so for those of you who don't know, I love the Muppets. And I don't watch trailers. I don't watch previews. I'm looking right in the camera because I need you to hear me. The first time I watched this episode, I can't say I was looking forward to it. I can't say I was dreading it. Which is my general stance with Strange New Worlds. I'm like, let's see what you got. Show me what you got. I will come with an open mind. I'm not so deep in the lore. I don't care. Like, whatever. Show me what you got. I watched this episode. I hated this episode so much. I hated it more than any other Strange New Worlds episode.
John,
Let me tell you why. Because, again, love the Muppets, like Strange New Worlds. The first part of it, after everybody's a puppet, cool, because I felt like the characters were still acting like themselves. Even though they were puppets, they were behaving as themselves as puppets. And the further it went on, the show just felt more and more like a parody. It felt like Pigs in Space, which I love, but that's not.
how is that a bad thing?
That's not Star Trek.
Do not sully Pigs in Space by comparing Pigs in Space to this.
My point is, a parody of Star Trek is great, but not on Star Trek. That was my issue. And again, it wasn't so much the conceit of that they're puppets. It's that I felt as the show went on, the characters were acting less and less like themselves as puppets. Like they're like the ship was under attack and everybody's running. Oh no! I'm like, okay, well that's what would happen on the Muppet Show, but that's not what would happen on Star Trek. they wouldn't all flee. They wouldn't all be terrified. The guy was like under the console sucking his thumb. Okay. So that already, like, the more that happened, the more that pissed me off. But upon second viewing, my soul has been lightened, and I'm much more.
Your soul has been lightened.
I'm much more amenable to the whole thing.
Albie, are you awake?
That
Is everything okay?
Too long? Initial impression?
I don't know.
That's today!
That's today.
No?
You okay, Albie? You good? Everything okay?
Wow. Sorry, I've been tired. I haven't got much sleep. I've been making a lot of gloves. Okay. I'll go. Who went? Steve, did you give your first impression?
Yeah,
Steve
I
did,
went, and John went.
Okay, so do you want me to go, or is it your turn?
I'll go. Well, you can go. You can go, Chris.
You sure?
Yeah, let me.
I don't want to keep you up. I don't want to keep you up.
Okay.
You're gonna be okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. To quote Alison Pregler, this episode sucked. I mean, like, what are you doing? If I was not reviewing this for our podcast, I would have turned it off about 2/3, not even 2/3, maybe less than half of the way through. I don't know what they're trying to do. As I said last week, and this cemented the opinion that I got with a case of chiaroscuro or a case of black and white. They're just doing now fanfic, alternate universe fanfic with Star Trek characters. And they just wanted to do a puppet episode. And this in no way represents anything that anybody needs to see in Star Trek. It's just, I don't mean to be a gatekeeper, but it's my show. And I can get to I try to bring a positive spin and at least a deeper discussion so that we can parse what they were trying to do. This was just them saying, let's do puppets. And you know what? That's fine if that's what you want to do, but do not pretend that this is Star Trek, and do not try to hedge your bets and pull your punch at the end saying, it was all a dream. You know, even you in the writer's room said, there's no way we can make this fly. There's no way this can actually be canon. So let's just make it. I mean, I was going to go with the joke of Bobby Ewing in the shower when Spock woke up, but it really happened on Gilligan's Island first, at least when I was a kid, you know? So it's just like, what in the goddamn hell are you goddamn doing to Star Trek? I mean, like, I'm sorry, Strange New Worlds has been on like the hairy edge with me lately, but it's just like, they're just saying, you know what they're saying? They're saying, you, Chris. Hey, Chris, go yourself. That's what they're saying. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it's just like, this was a pile of garbage. And it was just so stupid. It wasn't funny. It wasn't intriguing.
Are you guys ribbing me?
after your last review of the last episode, you're like, and they just keep doing different genres. I'm like, we keep doing wow, it's like they're just. I was like, as I was watching this, I'm like, man, this is it's gonna push Chris over the edge.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna get all my F-bombs out. This pile of.
Yeah, we're not PG-13 anymore, baby.
You got to bleep all that, Albie.
Are you guys messing with me just because you knew that I was looking forward to this and would love this one?
Hey, I liked it, Albie. It's not you guys.
I'm glad.
It's those two guys. I liked it.
Yeah, it's those two guys down there.
Actually, John revised his opinion up a little bit. So really, the problem is just
I missed
Chris.
that. I'm sorry.
No, I got to be honest with you. I mean, I was going to do a rewatch to do the synopsis, but I got as far as where they all turned into puppets. And then I realized it means nothing because it's all Spock's dream. And so I don't really have to recap anything except to say that puppet hijinks happen. And then Spock wakes up, the end.
Have you no heart?
I have plenty of heart. I just have I have discernment. That's my problem.
I'm going to look that up later. Okay, as for my first impressions, guess what?
I loved it.
I loved it, but I really, really, really loved it. I watched it like 6 times.
Wow.
I've been waiting
I didn't
for
like
this.
It that much.
Well, I'm a puppet nerd. I'm a very huge puppet nerd. Muppets, Sesame Street. You know, I watched that until I'm still watching it, actually. I watch all puppet shows. I've done puppet shows. I love making puppets. I collect puppets. I do puppetry. I do ventriloquism, magic nerd, all this stuff, all that genre of stuff. And as soon as I saw Pike turn around in that chair as a puppet, like 2 years ago, right? Something like
Whenever
that.
they released that teaser.
I've been waiting for this episode. And I was, you know, after last week, Kia Skura, whatever Kia model it is. Thank you. Very good. Unlike that episode, I think this episode was actually written by humans, and I enjoyed it. I love this one so much. I laughed out loud the whole time, every time, kind of like a good Seinfeld episode where you know the joke's coming, but you still laugh anyway because it's still funny. I just loved everything about it. It was like watching an episode of The Muppet Show where the guest host was Spock. I mean, for me, it was great. I couldn't ask for anything more. I do agree with you, Steve, that they kind of took it away from us at the end, and it would have been great if Star Trek puppets were canon and like they have quantum fluctuations of the polyfill or whatever the explanation was.
Yeah.
But I just loved it in every way, and I'm curious to find out why y'all hated it.
I feel like Chris explained it pretty emphatically.
Chris hated it. He
I'm
used
sorry.
some
Yeah, I mean,
expletives.
the thing is, yeah, I mean, I have some opinions beyond my initial impression.
Okay.
However, like, I feel like I need you guys to lead the discussion on this one because I don't want to be the guy that just, I don't want to drag the entire show down.
I'll have Albie editing.
But like I said, I seldom use my platform as a place to vent my spleen, but they just forced me to do it.
I'm not the puppet nerd, but I'm a puppet
I was going to
nerd.
say I'm sorry. I'm not even sorry. They forced me to do it, and you had it coming.
You had no choice.
So, yeah.
You had no
I mean,
choice.
what am do I
When
not?
you
If you
find
prick
out-
me, do I not bleed? If
When
I
you
was a
find out
puppet,
one
I
of your
guess I
besties
wouldn't.
doesn't like puppets, I mean, what do you do? How do you recover from
Albie,
that?
how
like
often
puppets.
do you and I like the same thing ever?
Yeah, you know, you don't have to have everything in
Like,
common, Albie. You can still
The
be
thing
friends.
is,
That's
we have
true.
friendship in common, but we don't like any of the same things for the most part.
Would you
Except
come
for,
to
like,
my
Star
puppet
Trek.
show?
I like you. I would come to your puppet show, but I don't
Okay,
want
and
to
you
watch an
stand up
episode
and
of
go,
Star
F
Trek.
this puppet show. F you. F those puppets.
No, because your puppet show is your show, and I expect you to give me a puppet show. When I
Okay.
watch Star Trek, I don't want to see a puppet show. I want to
Really?
see Star Trek.
That's just me. That's always wanted a Star Trek puppet show.
I can't. You and every asshole in the writers' room.
Okay.
But yeah, it can do the really heavy, like social issue episodes, and it can do the really, you know, dramatic character-driven episodes where the actors get to really show us what they can do, you know, and it can also do episodes where they're playing characters in a fairy tale, or they're turned into puppets, or they're in a Robin Hood movie for some reason, or you know, whatever. Like that's always, or they're on a shore leaf planet where there's like an Alice in Wonderland rabbit running around, except it's clearly just a guy in an Easter bunny costume, and everybody treats it as like, oh, look at that rabbit. That's not a rabbit, man. That's a guy in a costume. Whatever, you know. But yeah, it doesn't. That kind of thing doesn't bother me. I judge it on an episode by episode basis, and the puppet episode was fine with me.
I like that.
I agree with
Chris.
everything Steve said except for that last bit.
We're almost there.
But-
See, we have common
But so
ground.
close, so close.
Yeah,
But no, I was. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm yes anding. Because Chris, you're like, you know, you want to maintain the integrity of the Star Trek universe, and this doesn't fit in it. Well, for me, my perspective is, it does, because they put it in their universe. By definition, it's part of the universe. Like it's even if it's completely, even, you know, if, you know, they do stop motion episode or whatever, like
Or the Harlem Globetrotters
if
show
the
up.
people, and this is what I mean when I say canon is stupid. I'm not just being like, I mean, I may be, but that's not the sum total of what I'm doing.
However you mean it, I
Like-
agree with it.
Yeah, I mean, canon is stupid, because if the people who make the show say this also is the show, then it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is. And you could say that it sucks, and you could say that, well, I like, you know, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man more than the Tom Holland Spider-Man, and I don't, you know. But
Don't
it doesn't
forget-
mean that Tom Holland is not Spider-Man. It just means you like this other one
Right.
better. like
Exactly.
which is fine. But it doesn't.
Andrew
And that's why
Garfield.
canon's stupid, because like if I had enough money and I buy Star Trek and I say, and now, and I recast everybody as black actors.
Yes,
that's just
I
what
would watch
it
that.
is.
Do it.
That's just what it
Let's
is.
do
now.
it. It's time.
because I own Star Trek, and that's what I said. And you can say it's stupid, you can say it sucks, you say there's no good reason for it, and all of that could be valid, but that doesn't mean it's not canon, and that's why canon is stupid.
Yeah, people get too invested in it. People get too invested in whether or not something is canon. Like the real question is, did you like it or not? And if you didn't like it, that's
everything
fine.
is a different version.
Yeah.
And did you like this
I
version?
loved it.
If you didn't like it,
It
that's
brought me
fine.
joy.
If you liked it, that's
It made me
fine.
happy.
But like, yeah.
It still makes me happy.
To me, the canonicity of a thing has no bearing on whether I liked it or not. Because there's Star Trek that I think is absolute garbage, and there's Star Trek that I think is brilliant, and it's all Star Trek. I mean, it's all Star Trek.
Speaking of all Star Trek, Chris, do we got some stuff to do? Do we do? What do we
yeah.
do now? What do we do? Some trivia, or do we do our other things?
We can do some trivia.
Oh, I got one more. I got a question. How did everybody feel about the Vulcan salute before Pike gets sucked out of it? These are
That
the
caught me a little bit. That was my one bump.
Oh, you
when
know
we
what?
get to
I
bumps.
forgot.
You want to do some bumps?
About that. Yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
bumped me.
Did anything bump you about this episode, Chris?
The thing is, when I watched that scene, I was just like, oh, come on. Like, do we have to? And I completely forgot about it, John, until you brought it up.
You're welcome.
I don't know that it made me angry. At the same time, it didn't. No, actually, no. I figured, okay, well, maybe that's where Spock got it. Maybe that contributes to the tapestry that is Star Trek. And now, when I see Wrath of Khan, I can think of this, but I don't want to think of this when I see Wrath of Khan. And the fact that it was all a dream. So what he's saying stuff that he learned in a dream from Dream Pike to Kirk on his deathbed. I mean, way to cheapen Wrath of Khan. What's next? Ben Sisko never came home. Oh wait, I mean,
That's a whole other episode. We'll debate that again.
I thought
at some point, Chris.
I thought Pike saying the needs of the many, to me it was almost a bridge too far, just because that's such a well-known reference, and it's like, so we've heard
too soon.
But what
too soon?
What kind of brought me over to thinking, okay, I'm fine with that, is the irreverence of it. Is the fact that I'm like, they're taking this, like famous, incredibly emotional moment from a really serious movie, and they're making it a joke. And I respect the fact that they did it, because Star Trek is way, way too precious about itself, and it's like it holds itself to, like, they can't make fun of that, that's a sacred moment. Shut up, nerd.
Nice.
Nice.
For Treksploration, I'm Albie.
Thank you. I'm Chris.
I'm John.
I'm Steve.
And we'll see you next time.
Treksploration is a podcast, yeah. Chris and Albie and sometimes John, talking Trek all night and day.